Welcome to Self-Care Tips. I am Irene Joruke, and today we're going to talk about drinking water. Water is extremely important for our bodies because it gives hydration, it gives health, and it makes you feel better instantly. Now, we've heard so many times about taking 1.5 liters a day or even 8 glasses a day. This is very true because your body will function at its optimum. The more water you drink, the better it is for you. And the best way to drink water is to have it at room temperature or to have it warm, especially if it's first thing in the morning. The importance of drinking warm water first thing in the morning is because your body is able to absorb it instantly. It does not require a lot of time to change the temperature. So have a glass of warm water first thing in the morning. Now, here are some signs that you're not getting enough water in your body. First of all, you will feel very tired after some time. You get fatigued, easily fatigued. You also encounter aching joints, headaches, and a general feeling of malaise or illness. All this is nothing wrong. Don't rush for pills or rush for tablets or something. All you need to do is just have your glass of water. And those symptoms disappear immediately. So remember, water is crucial. As soon as you get up, drink your first glass and then spread the other 8 glasses throughout the day. Later on, you can have cool water. As your body temperature rises, you'll be able to process and absorb the water better. Water is very essential for your health. This has been Self-Care Tips.
My name is Mohamud Ahmed Mohamud, the CEO of Kenya Deposit Insurance Corporation, popularly known as KDIC. The corporation recently increased the protected sum from the previous 100,000 shillings to 500,000 shillings per account. This is the highest in sub-Saharan Africa. In effect, the corporation now covers 99% of the depositors in the unlikely event of a closure of a bank. So KDIC encourages the depositors to continue doing business with our banks that are strong and resilient.
Be sure, check out for a KDIC sticker in your banking hall. KDIC, protecting your deposits.
The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties, in partnership with eCitizen, brings you a self-service platform for management of political parties membership. At the click of a button, you can now check the political party you are registered in as a member, resign from a political party, or join a political party of choice. Simply log into your eCitizen account, select your preferred service, fill in the details, then submit. You will receive a system acknowledgement of your request, and an eCitizen system notification will be issued once the processing is complete. ORPP is committed to serve you to promote political rights in a democratic multi-party system. For more information, visit www.orpp.or.ke or engage us using our handles at ORPP Kenya across social media platforms. Your party, your choice.
It's 9 p.m. East African time from wherever you're watching us in Kenya and around the world. Good evening and welcome to KBC Prime this 23rd day of November 2021. My name is Mboya.
My name is Museo. Welcome to Prime Edition. Live in studio, Joseph Mbai. Joseph Mbai is the County Executive Committee member for Health Murang'a County and also the chair, the County Executive Committee member, Health Caucus here in Kenya, and we talk about the COVID-19 vaccination ahead of the government's declaration that by December 21st, then no citizen will have any government in-person services if they're not fully or vaccinated. Will they hit the 10 million target of vaccination, even as only 2.4 million Kenyans have only been fully vaccinated? You can interact with us and be part of this live interaction at KBC Channel 1 at Purity_Museo. The hashtag to use tonight is Prime Edition.
Plus, also coming up in this live broadcast, we'll look at the day's business and also we'll look at what happened in the world of sports. But first things first, our top stories. Strengthening ties. Kenya signs 8 trade deals with South Africa.
Equity Bank Kisumu under siege. Police thwart a robbery attempt in 4-hour drama.
Plus, seeking a harmonized budget. Stakeholders to scrutinize election spending.
Thank you so much for joining us. Susan Thuku is our sign language interpreter tonight. Kenya and South Africa on Tuesday signed 8 key bilateral agreements ushering in a new dawn of cooperation between the two nations. The 8 agreements included memoranda of understanding in transport, health, diplomatic consultations and training, as well as tourism and migration.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and his South African counterpart, President Cyril Ramaphosa, on Tuesday witnessed the signing of the 8 key bilateral agreements shortly after they led their delegations in bilateral talks at Union Buildings in Pretoria. President Kenyatta said the Kenya-South Africa diplomatic relationship of close to 30 years had come of age.
After close to 30 years of diplomatic relations, the Kenya-South African partnership and friendship has truly come of age. In addition to strong bilateral ties which span a wide range of areas, Kenya and South Africa are close partners also at the regional as well as on the global stage. We have today definitely made very good strides. However, we believe there is still scope to do even more. So once again, let me reaffirm Kenya's commitment to work together with our brothers and sisters in South Africa in driving the aspirations of our people through the promotion of the African agenda.
He reaffirmed Kenya's commitment to work with South Africa in driving the aspirations of the people of the two countries through the promotion of the African agenda.
The African Bureau that you led and which I was delighted to be a part of established the African Joint Continental Strategy for COVID-19, which continues to guide our success and response to the pandemic to date.
At the same time, President Kenyatta commended his host, President Ramaphosa, for his exemplary leadership during his tenure as chairman of the African Union last year.
Each of our countries has the indigenous knowledge and expertise to benefit the other. These efforts to strengthen economic ties are not possible without the facilitation of movement of people between our two countries.
Earlier, President Kenyatta was hosted to an elaborate state reception that included a 21-gun salute, inspection of a guard of honor mounted by a detachment of the South African military.
Let's now look at the election preparedness. And the National Multi-Agency Consultative Forum on Election will scrutinize budget estimates presented to various institutions involved in election preparedness for harmonization. The forum, being chaired by Chief Justice Martha Koome, says each institution involved has presented its budgetary requirements for the 2022 general election, which must be synchronized to avoid wastage. Speaking after a closed-door meeting attended by Cabinet Secretaries Dr. Fred Matiang'i of Interior, Joe Musheru of ICT, and Attorney General Kihara Kariuki, among other officials, the Chief Justice said that a technical committee is in place to analyze the budget, which will be discussed next week.
Speaking after a closed-door meeting attended by the Cabinet Secretaries Dr. Fred Matiang'i of Interior and Joe Musheru of ICT and Attorney General Kihara Kariuki, among other officials, the Chief Justice said a technical committee is in place to analyze the budget, which will be discussed next week.
We considered the work plan that was prepared by the Technical Working Committee, and we also prepared the proposed budget. Because each agency put forward what they require as their need. We in the judiciary put forward what our needs are to be able to execute our mandate under the Constitution and the statutes, to deal with the disputes that arise, be they from the political parties tribunal, which is under the judiciary itself.
The Chief Justice noted that the forum had adopted the coordination and collaboration framework prepared by the Technical Working Committee for the conduct and management of the 2022 elections, and will also formalize channels of information sharing and resource planning to eliminate losses in duplicate roles.
And every agency here has put forward their budgetary requirements. And after deliberations, the forum has adopted the work plan and the reports that were tabled before us in this meeting. The forum has, however, requested the Technical Working Group to further review the budgetary proposals so that there is proper harmonization.
The team has also identified possible gaps to be faced and already working on how to remedy the same. For Prime Edition, I'm Zainab Said. And an Italian company contracted by the government to undertake the construction of the controversial Aurora and Kimwarel multi-purpose dams want the arbitration court at The Hague to compel the Kenyan government to pay 80 billion shillings, even though no work was done. The DPP, through the special prosecutor, says the CMC de Ravenna company did not submit any bidding tender document for the construction of the two dams, as it did not exist during the tendering process. More from our court reporter Ben Troy-Njue.
At the Milimani Anti-Corruption Court, it was revealed that Italian firm CMC de Ravenna is seeking payment of 80 billion shillings from the government of Kenya, even though construction of Aurora and Kimwarel multi-purpose dams never took off. The Director of Public Prosecution, through Special Prosecutor Taib Ali Taib, said Italian company, which had filed a petition at the arbitration court at The Hague in Netherlands, did not submit any bidding tender document for the construction of the two dams, as it did not exist during the tendering process. Former Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich and his co-accused have been charged with disregarding procurement laws. The case continues. And former Laikipia North MP Matthew Lempurkel, through lawyer Sabaitao Olekanchari, has challenged the court decision that handed him a 1-year jail term for assault. Through his lawyer, the former legislator has written to Chief Justice Martha Koome, alleging invasion of the independence and institutional integrity of the court, and the judge who sentenced him should not have handled the matter.
We have named the judicial officer Madam Helen or Honorable Helen Onkwani and we have evidence that she met certain operatives from a foreign mission in this country at a place in Kilimani where we have disclosed, and where the details of the case were discussed and the outcome of that case determined in that meeting. We have also learned that a former Solicitor General approached the judge who is handling Matthew Lemburkel's appeal and instructed the judge not to grant Matthew Lemburkel bail.
He now wants the case handled by another judge to safeguard his constitutional rights. Lemburkel claims the court has been compromised by people keen to ensure he is not on the ballot in the next year's general election. For Prime Edition, I'm Ben Troy-Njue.
Let's now move into the world of politics. Deputy President William Samoei Ruto says he's the best man for the top job to push the country's development agenda forward. Ruto, who was in Kericho for a series of rallies, said that he understands government priority projects as well as programs that need to be implemented to transform the country's economy, promising to ensure that the United Democratic Alliance, UDA, implements unfulfilled programs if it takes over power into 2022.
Ruto, who held a series of meetings in Kericho, said he was ready to take the country to the next level by reviving key programs and projects that stalled, including the Big Four agenda.
Uhuru Kenyatta anaenda retire mwaka ujao. Mimi niko hapa na nitahakikisha ya kwamba ahadi yetu tuliyoweka manifesto kwa Wakenya wangwana walitupatia kura zao ni lazima tutaitimiza.
Speaking in Kedowa, Kipkelion East and Belgut in Kericho County on Tuesday, the Deputy President said promises made to Kenyans during the 2017 re-election campaign will not be shelved.
Tuko na deni yenu ya maji kwa sababu tulikubaliana tutajenga dam ya Itare ambayo ingeleta maji mpaka hapa. Tulikubaliana dam ya hapa Londiani, na tuko na dam ya Posto pale ambayo itaweka maji kule Bomet. Mimi nataka niwaeleze, hata ingawaje hatujatimiza mambo yenu ya maji, na ni kwa sababu wakati tumeunda serikali awamu ya pili, wale ambao tulishindana na wao 2017 waliingia kwa mlango ya nyuma kwa serikali ambayo mlitusaidia tuunde, na wakasabotage ile mpango tulikuwa nayo.
The DP said the vision the government had of creating jobs, empowering businesses and transforming the country under the Big Four agenda will be implemented under the bottom-up economic model. He called on political leaders to disband small tribal political parties and form a national political party that will compete with UDA at a national level devoid of ethnicity. Leaders accompanying him saying the country will be safe in the hands of the DP, who understand challenges facing ordinary Kenyans. For Primetime Edition, I'm Michael Mondega.
Very well, that story brings us to our first break. This is KBC Prime Edition.
Absolutely. And did you know that there are some counties that have or only vaccinated 2% of their population 8 months since the vaccination drive began? Tonight we speak with Joseph Mbai, the chair, County Executive Committee members, health caucus. Do stay with us for that.
Ili kupata sikiza tuni hii ya cha muhimu maishani, bonyeza star 811 star 962 hash.
Cha muhimu maishani si kuishi tu. Cha muhimu maishani ni mchango wetu katika kuboresha maisha yetu na wengine.
Ili kupata sikiza tuni hii, cha muhimu maishani, bonyeza star 811 star 962 hash.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email newsroom@kbc.co.ke, call 0723 892 654 or 0734 780 124.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime Edition. The Mount Kenya Unity Forum officials and One Kenya Alliance are joining forces to form a coalition ahead of the 2022 general election. This as the Party of National Unity is set to make a comeback to the political spotlight, with all eyes fixed on August 2022. Wycliffe Okech reports.
Mount Kenya Unity Forum, led by NAK Kenya leader Martha Karua, National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi and former Kiambu Governor William Kabogo, met the One Kenya Alliance principals for Kenya's Moses Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi of Amani National Congress, Kalonzo Musyoka of Wiper Party and Gideon Moi of KANU in Nairobi to discuss a possible coalition.
OKA and the Mount Kenya Unity Forum have started a journey of moving together, and we have had a very fruitful meeting this morning, and more meetings will follow, and we only can urge Kenyans to watch this space.
The meeting comes just a week after the Mount Kenya Unity Forum welcomed Muturi to the fold.
Came together to explore possibilities of working together. We belong to Kenya, and none of us can do it alone.
And after a couple of years on the sidelines, the Party of National Unity is making a comeback to the political high table. Laikipia Governor Nderitu Mureithi says PNU is the custodian of Vision 2030 and thus best suited to address economic challenges in the country in collaboration with like-minded political outfits.
Sisi tukiwa wanzilishi wa Vision 2030 ndiye chama ambacho kina nia ya kuhakikisha kwamba mapato ya Wakenya iko hali ya juu. Ndio pia chama ambacho tuna nia ya kuendelea kuimarisha demokrasia ya Kenya.
Elsewhere, former Wiper Party chairman David Musila has returned to the political outfit. Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who received Musila at the party's headquarters, said his presidential bid needs all hands on deck and the return of Musila is a major boost.
We are here today to welcome Honorable Musila back to his party. And the rest of this other thing we'll deal with. Those are just remembrances and the pitfalls that we must avoid.
I want to assure all members that I have become an ordinary member of Wiper, and I'm very satisfied. I'm very satisfied, and I'll work with you in any capacity that you may think of for me in the future.
Musila resigned from the party before the last polls in 2017 and unsuccessfully contested the Kitui County gubernatorial seat as an independent candidate. Reporting for Prime Edition, I am Wycliffe Okech.
Well, before we take you to the other studio for the interactive session, let's see what happened in the lakeside town of Kisumu. Detectives in that county will have to rely on CCTV footage to identify the thugs who attempted to rob Equity Bank along Angawa Road in the Central Business District. An unknown number of staff, as well as customers who were in the banking hall, are now being held by police who failed to make any arrests during the morning incident. Achola Simon with the details.
The 11 a.m. incident attracted hundreds of curious onlookers as a contingent of police officers surrounded the building housing an Equity Bank branch along Angawa Road in Kisumu town. According to eyewitnesses' account, an unknown number of thugs stormed into the premises and threatened one of the tellers to give them money. A scuffle ensued, and in an attempt to escape unnoticed, the thugs lobbed a tear gas canister into the banking hall, causing confusion. The bank's security team raised the alarm, and a gun battle between the robbers and police officers who responded ensued for over 3 hours. And in a strange turn of events, police failed to arrest any of the thugs and will now rely on the CCTV footage for clues on the identity of the robbers. This is the second time thugs have attacked the bank after a similar incident last year left one person dead. Achala Simon, Prime Edition, Kisumu County.
As an item here for the youthful leaders, the Public Service Commission has begun a program to create a pool of young leaders from the service. Public Service Cabinet Secretary Professor Margaret Kobia says that the program will see the training of those who join the public service on value-based leadership skills. This will help build their capacity to move the country forward.
Kobia said the main aim of the leadership program is to develop young people in the service to be aware of skills and competence required in public service.
We are developing a generation of youth for Kenyan public service. These youth will be trained to apply their talents and enhance efficiency in the public service delivery.
The initiative, according to Kobia, will also see the nurturing of newly recruited leaders with public service skills.
Developing highly capable leaders anchored on public service core values is therefore a priority of the President, His Excellency the President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government.
Sentiment supported by the Yawa Hansen from the Emerging Public Leaders Organization in Washington, D.C., who said the program will be used as a tool to enhance development in the country.
Young civil servants from across Africa will be better able to respond to the crisis that face their countries, the continent, and the entire globe as they tap into this growing Pan-African.
According to Charles Sonkuli, the Principal Secretary State Department for the Youth, the program will create space for the young to fully exploit their leadership skills.
Creating exceptional, ethical, energetic, committed, indigenous young talent through coaching and mentorship. Mindset change through youth-centric transformative networks. The focus, of course, of instilling key skills and behavior will ripple effect last a lifetime.
A very good clap.
Thank you for joining us on this interactive segment. This evening we talk about COVID-19 vaccine. Have you been vaccinated? Is it partially or fully? Just know that by the 21st of December, you may not access in-person government services after the Minister of Health said that every person, every Kenyan citizen will be required to get vaccinated. So let's talk about vaccination drive and the role of county government, or let's say Department of Health in counties, and what they are doing to ensure that the government's plan to ensure that at least 10 million Kenyans are vaccinated before the end of this year, that target is achieved. Joining us this evening, we have Joseph Mboya, who is the CEC Health, the county government of Murang'a County. Murang'a, you're also the chair, the Kenya Chief Executive Committee members for Health, right?
Yes.
Welcome to this discussion. And we are talking about vaccination. We are seeing some counties vaccinating only 2%, while a county like Nairobi has vaccinated over 25%. Why is this so? Does it have anything to do with distribution of the doses that we have?
Thank you, Purity. My name is Joseph Mboya, the CC in charge of Health Murang'a County Government, and also the chair of the National CCM's caucus. Actually, one of the main reasons why some counties are lagging behind is because of, number one, is because of their demographics. If you look at Nairobi, you realize that Nairobi has quite a sizable population.
Yeah.
And also, you look at a county like Isiolo, Lamu, you find that they don't have that very big population. So in terms of numbers, of course, Nairobi would be leading because they are leading in terms of the people who live in Nairobi.
Yes.
And then if you look at the proximity of the vaccine availability, they are able to access the vaccine faster than anyone else because first of all, the depot where the vaccine is kept is already in Nairobi. So they have all the advantages. Counties like Isiolo, Mandera, Wajir, Tana River, and Lamu, Marsabit,
yes,
which are actually the ones that are lagging behind, we'll definitely face a few challenges, even of logistics, in terms of even taking the vaccine there. And you find that the Ministry of Health has also worked very well to make sure that vaccine is delivered in time, and they use air to deliver the vaccine.
Okay.
And bearing in mind that the vaccine comes with short expiry, and then it has some conditionalities that require it in terms of handling. You need to, it's a cold chain vaccine, which requires to maintain some certain degrees so that it remains effective and efficacious. So those are some of the reasons why you find some counties may be lagging behind.
Because I was asking that because a county like Mombasa, it's really lagging behind. Your county is ahead of Mombasa when it comes to vaccinating people. I think Murang'a County is in top 5 right now. So is it the role of the county government and especially the offices of the Department of Health that is, what is the role of the Department of Health actually in ensuring that people are fully vaccinated, because we are seeing the numbers are not balancing as far as people who are eligible for receiving this dose is concerned?
Of course, it is a responsibility of each county government to make sure that their people are vaccinated. And if you look at what happened during Mashujaa Day, we had an acceleration of outreaches, making sure that we get out of the facilities and probably go out into the markets and the churches, just to increase the numbers of people who are getting vaccinated. But you see, this one now will vary from one county to another. You will find that, for example, for us in Murang'a County, the acceptability of the vaccine in terms of percentage is higher than probably counties like Mombasa and Northeastern and such. And we don't want to blame the health departments in those counties, because most likely it may not be them alone. It could be also the community themselves. When COVID vaccine came initially, there was a lot of lethargy in terms of acceptance. And you realize that even some health workers were not even accepting it. But over the time, people have noted that it is necessary for everyone to get vaccinated.
Yes.
And when we had Delta variant, which was quite virulent, we realized that many people who actually succumbed to death were 98% not vaccinated. And a few of them who are vaccinated probably died because of other issues.
Yes.
But overall, if you look at anyone who had even the first dose or the second dose, and they got COVID during that Delta variant, they did not progress into serious disease. They never went to ventilation to get oxygen. They were able actually to manage and stay at home and go about their daily activities. But those who are not vaccinated and they had comorbidities like hypertension and diabetes, majority of them had serious disease progression and they were very sick, and most of them ended up in ventilation, and about 1.5% succumbed. So there is importance of getting the vaccine.
Okay. And as of Monday, only 2.4 million Kenyans had fully been vaccinated. 6.4 million, 6 million, slightly above 6 million, 6.5 have received at least a dose, and the government hopes to vaccinate at least 10 million. Will this target be met before 31st of December?
We are working together with the Ministry of Health to make sure that we accelerate the vaccination, and we have development partners that are supporting the same. We had a meeting in Mombasa where we met all the CECs from the 47 counties, and we did plans, and we have activities now running right now towards achieving that target. And one of that is that to make sure that all the facilities that have been accredited as vaccination centers are running throughout the week. And then we were also given permission to do outreaches even in churches, in markets, and in some areas we are doing mobile vaccination units where you will find health workers moving with a van with the vaccine, vaccinating people even in homes, in markets, in even congregate setups like universities, prisons, schools, where, colleges where we have quite a number of students. But we have seen that when you go to colleges and universities, the uptick is still not very, very high.
Yeah.
But it's an activity we have planned as counties, and each county has been given a target. For example, for us in Murang'a, we've been given a target of vaccinating about 155,000 people. And each county has been given a target which they must achieve by the end of December. And we've been supported to make sure that that vaccination happens.
Yeah.
The only thing we want to ask the counties is to make sure that they follow it up and make sure that everyone who is in that space of vaccination is doing all the activities that have been planned. And then Ministry of Health is really supporting in terms of providing the vaccine. Right now we have Sinopharm, we have Johnson & Johnson, we have Moderna, we have Pfizer, we have AstraZeneca. So there is no way a person would say that the vaccine is not available. And with that availability, then the counties have no choice than to make sure that they vaccinate as many people as possible.
Okay. Yeah. And the National Emergency Response Committee Chair, who happens to be the CS for Health, Mutahi Kagwe, has said that by December 21st, people will be denied government in-person services if they are not vaccinated. With that declaration, we are going to see a huge turnout of people who may need or to be vaccinated. So, and the minister has also said we only have 10 million doses available right now. How are counties going to ensure that everybody who wants to be vaccinated will get the jab?
Of course, when the minister says that, in the back of his mind, he knows that as a government, we are committed to make sure that we protect Kenyans. And the Ministry of Health has actually ordered more than 10 million doses of Johnson & Johnson, which I'm sure will be coming in, although not maybe all of it, but gradually with time we'll have received the 12 million. And why the minister is saying that is because we've noted that there are some Kenyans who probably feel that the vaccine is not necessary. But again, as a government, we have a responsibility to protect our people and to make sure that we are the ones making sure that they don't get sick, because if they get sick and they come to the hospital, it will still be our responsibility to take care of them. And if you look at the cost of treating one COVID patient, Purity, you will find that it is very high.
Yeah.
And as a government, we would rather have to pay a cost of a vaccine other than paying a cost of a patient who has been hospitalized and the bill is running into millions of shillings. Of course, when the person has a vaccine, they will develop antibodies that will protect them, and eventually they can also get natural immunity. And people have a lot of myths around this COVID vaccine. But I think it is worth noting that once a person is injected with that vaccine, of course the body develops antibodies. And these antibodies will be able to protect you or whoever gets that vaccine when any variant of COVID-19 attacks them. And they will be safer with the vaccine than without. And more so the people who have other diseases like cancer, hypertension, diabetes, those are the ones that are at high risk. And those people who are now 50 years and above. And you can see the band has been increased, and the minister has even announced that you can vaccinate even from 18 years and above. WHO gave a directive the other day that even 12 years going down, we can still vaccinate.
Yeah.
So it is necessary, and as a government, we will not sit and wait for our people to be sick and then start incurring expenses treating them. We would rather put mechanisms and sanctions to make sure that people are vaccinated. Yes.
And when Kenya first received Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, the ministry said that it cannot distribute these doses to some counties due to issues to do with storage. They did not have the recommended storage for some of the doses. So what are your departments doing to ensure that also Kenyans in those areas benefit from these doses?
Well, as a ministry, we are aware of that, and COVID vaccines are all cold chain vaccines, and we don't want to waste them. So when we say that a county has no capacity to handle a certain vaccine, we will not give them that one. We shall give them the one that we know they are able to handle and the ones they have capacity to deal with. But again, the Ministry of Health is also building capacity in all the counties, and they are developing different cold rooms and cold chains in regions, so that, for example, for us in Murang'a, we know if we want to access our vaccine, we will come to Nairobi. The people in the coastal region, they know if they want to access their vaccine, they can go to Mombasa. The people in Nyanza region, they know if they want to access their vaccine, there is a cold room in Kisumu where they can access their vaccine. And government is actually building those capacities in different regions, just to make sure that all counties are covered and no one is left behind without vaccination. So there is no excuse. So no one is supposed to say that they cannot find the vaccine. No one is supposed to say that the logistical support has not been given. The only thing we need to now probably emphasize is to create more awareness for people to come out in large numbers and get vaccinated. Because if we vaccinate 60% of our population, especially all the adults, and above 18 years, then we'll be safe as a nation.
And currently our positivity rate for COVID-19 is 1.1%, which is a good thing. But some of the European countries are already registering or witnessing a surge of the cases. What is the level of preparedness in the counties in case we experience another wave? And I'm talking about the US, for instance, is administering a booster dose to the citizens. I'm also talking about the capacity, bed capacity, in case we experience another surge, how prepared are counties?
Well, I want to say that counties are really prepared, because we've had the first wave, the second wave, the third wave, and the fourth wave, and we've managed. And devolution is a good thing that happened to this nation. If you look at what the counties are doing, Purity, you will be very amazed. County like Mandera, county like Wajir, the ones that were lagging behind in terms of healthcare systems, they have come up so well in devolution space. In Murang'a, we built an ICU in 21 days, which has 35 beds. Other counties have done the same. People have even employed staff for critical care. People have done a lot in terms of even isolation centers, in terms of ventilators, even oxygen plants and all that. So in terms of preparedness, I would say that we are not doing badly, because even when we had the Delta variant, we managed. You see, COVID has taught us the hard way that you can find yourself in Murang'a or in Kisumu or in Mandera and you have nowhere to refer anybody. So each county is ready, because they know there can come a time when they'll have to deal with their COVID patients and they will have nowhere to refer. And that is the thing that COVID has taught us in the counties. So I want to say that as the chair of the CC caucus, I'm aware that counties are really prepared, and even right now, more counties are putting in more isolation beds. They are putting in ICUs. You will find some counties have just opened their ICUs in just to be prepared for any other upsurge of COVID. And I want to say this, Purity.
Yes, as we
Kenyans must be very careful. We are not yet out of the woods. You can see now other waves are coming up in those Europe nations and China. So that means that we are not safe yet, we really need to continue wearing our masks, keeping physical and social distance, washing our hands, sanitizing, and probably making sure that we get vaccinated.
I think that's a right note to end the show. Thank you so much, Joseph Mbai, CC for Health, Murang'a County, and also the National Chair, County Executive Committee members for Health. Thank you for your time. We do appreciate.
Welcome.
That's all the time we had for interactive segment this night. Cynthia Nyamai is coming up next with the day's business. Stay tuned.
The Kenya Medical Training College will hold its 90th graduation ceremony on December 2nd, 2021 at KMTC Graduation Square, Nairobi from 10 a.m. A mandatory graduation fee of 2,500 Kenya shilling is payable on or before 30th November 2021 to National Bank via the details on your screen. Adorning graduation gown will be optional, and graduates wishing to get one can visit KMTC headquarters in Nairobi from 15th to 29th November 2021. Join the event on the KMTC YouTube channel at KMTC Official. Visit www.kmtc.ac.ke for more information on the graduation, training programs, and application procedure. KMTC, training for better health.
The 7th and final annual Devolution Conference is back. The conference will take place from 23rd to 26th of November 2021 at Makueni Boys High School, Makueni County. The theme of the conference is multi-level governance for climate action, with a sub-theme, Subnational Mobilization in Unlocking the Full Potential of Climate Action During and After Pandemics. The conference will be officiated by His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya. To register as a delegate or exhibitor, visit www.devolutionconference.cog.go.ke or call 0718 242203.
Love doesn't betray, and it doesn't hurt, and it does not deceive.
Okay, what's your problem
Hey,
with
don't
me, huh?
touch
What
me!
is this?
Hey, let go of me! Emiliano!
If you really love Cassandra, let her go.
Something behind this wicked game that you're playing. You're hiding behind a mantle of lies.
Did you have anything to do with his murder?
Society girl Deborah Pinheiro dies under strange circumstances. Deborah Pinheiro, homicide or suicide?
To business, I am Cynthia Nyamai. Now, IGAD has rolled out 89 short-term projects in transport, energy, ICT and transboundary waterways as part of the IGAD master plan to be implemented by the year 2024 at a cost of 3.8 trillion shillings. According to the African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development, Raila Odinga, these projects will facilitate trade and integration as well as address infrastructural needs.
The IGAD Master Plan identifies transboundary water resources, ICT, energy, transport and infrastructure as essential segments to unlocking the growth potential of the other development sectors.
We have 16 landlocked countries on the continent. Only regional integration will link them to the external world and open them up for trade and investment.
Speaking at the Interconnecting Member States for Regional Integration and Trade Competitiveness IGAD Roundtable, African Union High Representative for Infrastructure Development Raila Amolo Odinga urged members to incorporate regional priority projects in national development plans.
We must find ways to maximize the synergies among our states and the sub-regional bodies to speed up regional connectivity. This is especially important in the area of financing of regional infrastructure projects, which appears to be a problem.
He further called for the establishment of an Africa Fund for Infrastructure as a facility to support important and necessary project preparation and development of a pipeline of bankable infrastructure projects. Completion of the short-term projects that include 61 projects in transport, 9 projects in energy, 14 projects in ICT, and 5 projects in transboundary waterways is set for 2024.
The 2019 African Regional Integration Index concluded that IGAD is approximately 43.8% integrated with 4 IGAD member states, South Sudan, Eritrea, and Somalia, having the least integrated infrastructure on the continent.
The IGAD Infrastructure Master Plan is structured to complement the implementation of the protocols on free movement of persons and transhumans, which are essential enablers of trade facilitation in the regional bloc. Regina Manyara reporting for Prime Edition.
Kenya Pipeline Company incurred a 92% loss in revenue on jet fuel after the government imposed a lockdown last year to contain the spread of COVID-19, which resulted in suspension of passenger flights. Demand for fuel at Kenya Pipeline Company's Embakasi depot plunged from a high of 2.5 million litres daily to as low as 200,000 litres. Despite resumption of flight passenger services by most airlines, demand for jet fuel in Kenya is yet to hit pre-pandemic levels.
The outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic took a heavy toll on the aviation industry with the cancellation of commercial passenger flights after several countries, including Kenya, restricted travel. In Kenya, the government announced cessation of movement by air, land or water in Nairobi, Mombasa, Kilifi and Kwale. Suppliers of auxiliary products in the aviation industry, such as fuel, bore the brunt of the pandemic.
The pandemic came with a lockdown and suspension of air travel. So the delivery of fuels, jet and fuel, came down from the average that I've mentioned, 2.5 million litres, to 200,000 per day.
At the Kenya Pipeline Company's Embakasi depot, which supplies the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport with jet fuels, deliveries dropped by 92% to cater only for essential services.
We know that the 200,000 per day could have been just for the local consumption. That is the security forces aircrafts.
It took close to 1.5 years before commercial passenger flights fully resumed, courtesy of concerted efforts to contain the pandemic. But even then, demand for jet fuel is yet to return to pre-COVID levels.
Low levels of technology adoption by small businesses has lowered the attractiveness for credit, with finances opting for larger formal businesses. Digital innovators are being challenged to provide micro-retailer with point-of-sale solutions that allow micro-retailers avoid losses brought by the last-mile sale inefficiencies like theft or poor bookkeeping.
In Kenya, micro-retailers supply nearly 80% of all consumer goods sold to low-income communities. However, challenges of low offtake and risks of expiry of goods are key challenges that the small businesses face.
What did I sell? How much did I make? How much balance is remaining in my store? That kind of visibility does not happen in the shop. And this is why with this limited digital penetration, we feel is a very critical gap that hinders the shop owners from growing.
Further, players say a lack of technological adoption lowers the attractiveness for credit, with financiers opting for larger registered businesses with formal business practices.
The micro retailers do not keep a lot of records for their businesses, and therefore they lack visibility to the financiers. The financiers consider the sector highly fragmented, and they also think that they have a very high transaction cost.
Currently, for survival, a growing number of small businesses have also been found to be more climate conscious, with many looking to adopt green solutions to attract development partners that will help them move their wares.
Partnering up with these organizations to really make sure that we bring the sustainability and bring the community aspects to everything that's nature conservation is something that's extremely important. And so everything around enterprise development, supporting young entrepreneurs, supporting them in making their businesses, turning it around basically from an economy that takes from nature to an economy that regenerates nature.
It is believed that technological capacity building initiatives can help improve business skills and increase a shopkeeper's chances of business survival through shop management practices, supply chain management, financial management, and investment opportunities.
Well, that's it for business today. Let's have the Forex and next, sports with Karen Kibet.
The Office of the Registrar of Political Parties is a model regulator of political parties mandated to register political parties, regulate political parties, and administer the political parties fund.
Mwasubiri kwa muda mrefu hawakutokea.
Na pesa zao?
Si niko nazo.
Fikiria vile mimi nafikiria. Sijui. Sorry, Mom. It's okay, you don't have to be sorry.
And ORPP is committed to serve you to promote political rights in a democratic multi-party system.
A very good evening to you. I do hope you're holding up well. It's now time for us to take a look at what's making headlines in the world of sports. My name is Karen Kibet. Now on to our first story. The embattled FKF CEO Barry Otieno has said the federation is regrettably unable to plan and execute the CAF Confederation Cup match between Gor Mahia and AS Otoho FC that is scheduled for December 5th, 2021 in Nairobi following the disbandment of the federation by Sports Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohamed. Meanwhile, Gor Mahia chairman Ambrose Rachier hosted sports lawyer Erkut Sogot, Mesut Ozil's agent who is in the country, for a series of sports seminars.
Rachier said the event marked a start of relationship between Gor Mahia and Dr. Erkut Sogut that will see scouting of young talents and player representation relations grow further.
We are in the process of discussing in what way he could support our youth team. We are concerned about development of football.
Sogut, who arrived in Nairobi on Sunday evening, presented Gor Mahia youth team with playing kits and equipment at Camp Toyoyo, where he gave lectures on player agents at Hemingway's Hotel, Karen.
People out there, young agents, think they do one deal and become a millionaire right away. That's not true. It doesn't exist. So the most important thing is being patient and working hard every day consistently. That's very important.
Rachier on his side said there are plans to schedule a friendly match between Gor Mahia and Fenerbahce, which is Mesut Ozil's current club in Turkey.
Our federation, when it is restored, to look into the issue of regulation of agents in this country so that we have some law, something that you can say, how do you register, how do they get their income, and how do they get engaged by players.
Meanwhile, Battle FKF CEO Barry Otieno has said the federation is regrettably unable to plan and execute the CAF Confederation Cup between Gor Mahia versus AS Otoho FC that is scheduled for December 5th, 2021 in Nairobi, following the disbandment of the federation by Sports Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohammed. For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Alvin Kaunda.
Thank you, Alvin, for that report. Moving on, former Boston Marathon champion Lawrence Cherono says unscrupulous coaches and agents pose a serious threat to upcoming athletes. Cherono, who was speaking during Athletics Consultative Forum with stakeholders in Stroberg, Uasin Gishu County, said that rogue agents mislead athletes into making wrong choices and prevent them from realizing their dreams.
The ongoing Athletics Kenya Athlete Seminar entered its third week in Uasin Gishu County. Former Boston Marathon champion Lawrence Cherono said unscrupulous coaches and agents pose a serious threat to upcoming athletes and challenged stakeholders to be on the front line in creating awareness on the need to shun such coaches.
Baada kufanya bidii, hakupewa nini? Hakupewa haki yako. Tutaenda wapi? Athletics Kenya watafuta watu wenye waki if there is such issues. Many of them wanakuja azolia hapa hivi kutafuta maschools. Ofucha unaweza pata mwingine amekata 5 years hapa hivi. Anaenda kujaribu huko embassy apati. Anajaribu shule kusema wacha nitafute shule fulani. The conditions wanapeana they cannot meet.
We think that this is the way to address it, from getting from the owners themselves of the whole social circles, the athletes.
Meanwhile, 2019 Strasbourg half marathon champion Janet Raguru has raised alarm over the safety of athlete security while training in Kaptagat Forest.
1 month ago, we had a bad incident of security. There was one of us who was training a lady, and she was almost raped, but we thank God everything was okay. It was not a good incident because we usually fear when we enter into this forest.
The next session of the seminar will be held in Iten, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Frederick Muki for Prime Edition.
Now on to matters basketball. A thrilling and electric atmosphere will be expected in tonight's final of the FIBA Zone 5 Championship when two Kenyan sides, KPA and Equity Hawk, clash in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. The two teams continued their dominance in the campaign after claiming comfortable wins against Gladiators of Rwanda and DB Lionesses of Tanzania last night. Equity Hawks, who have been impressive throughout the campaign, beat hosts DB Lionesses 76-36, while KPA beat Gladiators 83-40. The two Kenyan sides will meet tonight in the final to determine the Zone 5 champions. World Marathon record holder Eliud Kipchoge has been nominated for the Male World Athlete of the Year after he defended his title in the Tokyo Olympic Games. Kipchoge has been mentioned among 5 finalists who will be looking to bag the award during the World Athletics Gala slated for 1st of December this year, and which also will be done virtually. Kipchoge, who's won the award twice, clocked 2 hours, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Other athletes nominated include Olympic 5,000-meter champion Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda, Olympic and Diamond League shot put champion Ryan Cruiser of the United States, Olympic 400-meter hurdles champion Karsten Warholm from Norway, and Sweden's Olympic pole vault winner Mondo Duplantis. And finally, with a number of players sidelined with various injuries, Michael Carrick will be tasked with getting Manchester United back to winning ways as they travel to take on Villarreal in their UEFA Champions League group match tonight. Meanwhile, Juventus, who are flawless in the UEFA Champions League adventure this campaign, will play away to English Premier League leaders Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge.
UEFA Champions League actions resumes tonight with 8 games on card, where Manchester United, without a manager, will be hoping to collect all 3 points against Villarreal to seal qualification for the knockout stages. Meanwhile, Italian giants Juventus will look to continue with their 100% record in the group stages this season when they travel to play London side Chelsea tonight. Elsewhere, Barcelona will look to better their performance in the group stages when they host Portuguese outfit Benfica at the Camp Nou tonight. In other matches, Dynamo Kiev will host German champions Bayern Munich, while Young Boys welcome Atalanta. Lille will take on RB Salzburg, Sevilla will play home to Wolfsburg, while Zenit St. Petersburg will play.
And the Manchester United Champions League match against Villarreal is already 50 minutes into the game, and they're at a 0-0 goal score. So I'm a Manchester United fan. I definitely wish my team all the best. And Bayern are leading 2-0. And the other match pitting Chelsea versus Juventus is yet to come at 23 hours. So stay tuned. That's all we had for you right here at the KBC Sports News Desk. Let's see each other tomorrow, same time, same place. My name is Karen Kibet. Do have yourself a peaceful night, but the broadcast is not yet over, as I do hand you back to Tom and Purity for more.
I am a better Man U fan, Karen. Good night to you too. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Prime Edition this Tuesday night. My name is Purity Museo, and Susan Thuku has been our sign language interpreter tonight. Good night. God bless. We'll see you again next week.
From broadcasting hours, my name is Mboya. Good night.
Good night.